Today we're going to be talking about arithmetic sequences, and the formula for an arithmetic sequence is a of n equals a of 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Now, a of n and a of 1, the 1 and the n are called subscripts because those are the smaller numbers or letters, and they're set slightly below the big letter. And those aren't saying that it's like a, like how, let's say we have 2 squared. That doesn't mean we do anything special with them, like 2 squared equals 4. 2 sub n doesn't mean that we're computing something there. What it does mean is that this is our nth term, where n is the number of terms that we have. So say we wanted to find the 5th term, we'd plug 5 in for n, and this would be a of 5, or the 5th term. So a sub 1 is the first term, and d is the common difference, which we learned about yesterday, how we're either adding or subtracting something, and if we're subtracting, we're really adding a negative number. Okay, given this formula, let's go ahead and write an equation for the nth term of each arithmetic sequence. So we know a couple things. We know that a of 1, or our first term, is 5. So we know a of n will equal 5 plus, and we don't know how many terms there are. We've got a dot, 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 which means that it could go on forever. So we'll leave n as n. We just need to figure out d, the common difference. So to do that, we do what we did yesterday. So we'll take negative 31 and subtract 13. Or just we kind of think 13 plus what gives us negative 31. It's going to subtract because the negative number got bigger. So let's see what that is. 31 minus 13 is 18, so we're subtracting 18. So that means that our common difference is negative 18. And let's check and make sure that that's right. Is 5 minus 18 negative 13? Well, yes, it is. So now we just need to distribute this number to everything in the parentheses here, and then add any like terms that we have. So we will get a of n is equal to 5, and then n times negative 18 is negative 18n, and negative 1 times negative 18 is positive 18. And we have some like terms here. We've got 5 is a like term with 18, and that will add to 23. So, and then the negative 18n doesn't have a like term. A of n is not a like term with 18n. A sub n is its own little label, and is just saying how many terms we've got. And since we don't know how many terms, we're just going to leave it as n. So we're saying any term is going to be 23 minus 18 times the number of terms you're looking for. So that is our explicit formula for the arithmetic sequence. Let's go ahead and do one where instead of giving a list of numbers, we're given the 5th term and the common difference. So on this one, we don't know a of 1, so we're going to write that as just a1 for now. We know that the number of terms is 5, and the common difference is 6. Now, do we know a of n? Well, we know a of n. We know that a of 5 is 19. So since we put 5 in for n, we'll put 19 in for a of n. So we'll have 19 is equal to a of 1 plus 5 minus 1 is really 4. 4 times 6, which 4 times 6 is 24. If we subtract 24 from either side, we will notice that we get negative 5 is equal to a1. Okay, so that tells us that our first term is going to be negative 5. Let's go ahead and make some more room here. So we can go ahead and write our formula. So a of n will equal negative 5 plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which is 6, and then we simplify. So a of n will equal, let's see, 6 times n is 6n, 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So negative 5 minus 6 is negative 11. And then we'll have plus 6n. And that is our explicit formula for the arithmetic sequence. Okay, let's see. Alright, so now we want to look at what an arithmetic mean is, because that's what we're going to be asked to do next on our worksheet. So an arithmetic mean is going to be a term, or arithmetic means are terms between any two non-consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. So if we have a list of numbers, for example, 8, blank, 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 22, and it keeps going, the arithmetic means are the numbers in between 8 and 22. So on your worksheets, you're going to be given some blank spots that you're going to have to try to fill in and figure out what those are. Okay, so here's some examples. We want to find the missing arithmetic means. So we're going to use our arithmetic sequence formula. If we look here, we know a couple of things. We know that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. So our number of terms, n, is going to be 6. We know what our first term is. Our first term is negative 8. And we know what our last term is, at least for the purpose of what we're doing. And usually a of n is your last term. In this case, it's a of 6 because it's the 6th term. So we know the 6th term is 22. Okay, and we can plug that into our formula. Okay, so we'll have a of n, which this equaled 22, is equal to a of 1, which is negative 8, plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which we don't know the common difference. We're trying to figure that out so we can add it to negative 8 and see what those 4 missing numbers are. So we'll just solve this equation for d. So if we add 8 to both sides, we'll get 30 is equal to 5d, doing 6 minus 1. So d is going to equal 6. Great, so that's what we're adding by each time. So to figure out what we fill in the blank with, we just add 6. So negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2, plus 6 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 6 is 16, and plus 6 is 22. So those 4 numbers are our missing geometric or arithmetic means. Now if you get to the last number and it doesn't add up, if 16 plus 6 didn't add up to 22, we know we've done something wrong. So we would need to stop and look back over our work and see if we made any mistakes. Alright, let's do one more example like that. So this time we want to look and see how many terms we have. Okay. So did you count how many we have? We have about 7. Okay, and what's our first term? Well, it's negative 18. And our last term, or our 7th term, since we just have 7 terms listed, is 36. Okay, so again, we're going to plug it into our formula, which we know is a of n equals a of 1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference. Okay, so a of n, or a of 7 in this case, since n is 7, is going to be 36, because this whole a of 7, so we could really rewrite this as a of 7, that whole thing equals the 36, so 36 goes into there. Okay. Alright, so we've got 36 equals a of 1, which is negative 18, plus n minus 1, so 7 minus 1 times the common difference, which we don't know yet. So if we add 18 to both sides, 36 plus 18 is 54, and that equals 60. So 54 divided by 6 is 9, so the common difference is 9. That's our crucial information that we need in order to fill in the blanks. So if we do negative 18 plus 9, we'll get negative 9. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0. Plus 9 is 9. Plus 9 is 18. Plus 9 is 27. Plus 9 is 36. So those are the correct answers. Now there could be You guys could be smart enough to figure out, or clever enough I should say, to figure out another way to do these. And that's fine. If you figure out another way to figure out what those middle numbers are, that's okay. But this is the tried and true way to figure it out no matter what.